Hello and welcome back to the Neuro Spiritual Awakening with Dr. Val. And today I have a very, very special guest on the show, Stashia Jeanette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just very, very excited to have you on the show for obvious reasons. Well, for reasons that will become very obvious shortly to our audience. So why don't you introduce yourself and then we'll get straight into it.
Okie dokie. Thanks for having me on. You've been on my podcast quite a few times. You're one of my regulars, and I love it. And so I am Stashia Jeanette, a.k.a. Ascension OracleVii, and I have a mirage of things that I do, but my main squeeze currently is helping elite businessmen kind of transition from the old world of doing things. Those who have kind of attained material success at the cost of their soul's growth, for lack of better words, and they're now kind of like, oh, this isn't it, and I got to make a change. So I kind of help them reroute and kind of take the exits that their soul was kind of asking for them to take and do the things that their soul was asking them to do all along, but the rat race of hustle culture took first place. And then I help those who've been kind of trapped in the abyss and just like some really dark times get out of the abyss, get out of the darkness, and go into the light and heal. So that's my main area of focus. That's what I do currently because I did it. So I'm like, I can help you do it too.
Brilliant. Amazing. Thank you so much for the rundown on that, and I'm just amazed at what you do. And how did you come to do this? Like, when did it become evident that that was the thing for you to do? Um, yeah.
So it didn't really become evident to me until recently because I didn't know that I didn't embrace that that was what I was supposed to be doing because I don't like being in the spotlight. Like I don't like and then also like it was awkward for me to put myself out there and be like, look, this is a gift that I'm able to do. I'm able to kind of help people jumpstart their I work a lot with the upper chakras, and usually in masculine energy you obviously have both feminine and masculine energy within the body, just as people like to say like, oh, you're just left brained or you're just right brained, and just as that's a myth, you are both masculine and feminine. You have both the masculine energy within you and you have both the feminine energy within you, but you can be too heavily in masculine energy, whether you're in a physical masculine vessel or not. And you can have too much feminine energy, whether you're in just a physical feminine vessel or not. Either way, it goes both ways. You have both. But the upper chakras are traditionally more related to having the feminine energy. And a lot of times, masculine energy, male or female, makes no difference, whatever you identify as, masculine energy resonates more with the lower chakras. And so I found frequently that a lot of masculine energy, be it in a physical body or not physical body, just as they resonate with the masculine energy, beings would come to me and have a huge blockage in their upper chakras, and they were only solely doing things from just that masculine energy type mindset, and and they're getting burnt out and they're tired of like just chasing money and success and material things and feeling like a void within themselves, like, I've got all this stuff but I'm super unhappy, I'm depressed, and I'm going through whatever this is. Again, a lot of masculine energy feels like they're all logic, only logic, and so speaking to them about spiritual things, they're like, well, I can't see it, so that can't be a real thing, right? Like that's not it. So I just kept seeing an influx of these repeating type people coming towards me trying to be like, what's happening to me? And they were like really successful in the physical material world way, coming to me like, I don't know what's going on with my life, I don't know why this is happening and why this is occurring within me. What is this? And then when I tell them like, oh, you're going through a spiritual awakening and your soul is pissed off that you've neglected it up until this point, they're like, that's not it. And then you know they're like, this is crap. You're over here. You're just this is a sham. Like, is it though? Like, cause you came here for a reason. So obviously you didn't find the answers elsewhere. Um, so I think after about the fifth person that came to me, the fifth male that came to me, you know, in this exact same situation, I sat down and I was like, there's a reason why God Source Universe keeps bringing this to me, and this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, having the gift of being able to see where people have chakras blocked, where they're wounded at. I see a lot of inner child wounding and trauma that is contributing to this like heart chakra blockage, and that prevents people from being able to have all of their spiritual gifts connected, activated, and their connection to their soul gets blocked when they have a lot of trauma, unhealed, unacknowledged trauma. And so that's one of my gifts, is being able to like very clearly see into the souls of people and see where they're wounded, see where there's blockages going on, and then beyond that, being able to activate and heal those things should they choose. Because I mean, that's, I don't like, I'm not like the FBI. Like, I don't like come in and kick down people's doors and be like, hey, I'm here. You know, like, come on, like, I'm here to awaken your soul. I'm here to do the things. You're coming with me, alive or not, you know. That's not what I do, you know. I'm a human design projector, so like I wait for the invitation. If your soul it doesn't openly invite me and say like, "Hey, I want this. I want my soul. I want my ascension. I want this growth. I want to do better. I want to be better," kind of thing, then like I leave it alone. Like there's no amount of money that like can get you the growth and the healing that you want or need. You know, that's something that you have to be open and willing to do and put the work in behind it. But yeah, so if people are open and willing to have the help that have this journey with me, then I'm able to kind of hold that mirror up and show them, hey, this is what you've got going on, and these are the things that need to be done to fix it. I can help you, and we can clear these blockages, but ultimately you're the one that has to put in the work after that's done. You have to sustain it. Like it's not like a one and done thing. You have to be committed to this journey and your soul and your growth and your healing every single day.
Mm.
So yeah.
So powerful, so powerful. I was just going to mention that, you know, you're a projector in the human design, and I'm going to have a human design expert on the show at some point. I'm not an expert by any means in that field. You know, I'm a little bit into numerology, but well, a little
Yes.
bit, a
Yes.
lot, but
Yes. Yes.
I'm
Same.
not an expert. I'm not an expert in that field. However, what you say, and I was going to say, you, of course, snap the words out of my mind as you usually do with our conversations.
Telepathy.
That's so, yeah, it's amazing. And it's such an important task because I feel the awakening process is for everyone, and a lot of people experience it differently. It's one of the things that I've discovered out of doing, you know, 3 episodes, now 4 episodes of the podcast. It really looks and feels and is experienced differently by different individuals, yet it is the awakening, you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
Um, so it's great that you're facilitating and supporting other people in their awakening. But I want to ask you, you know, what was your awakening process? How did it start? When did you get a glimpse of it? Was it a gradual thing, or was it, wow, an instantaneous? Did it happen in a moment or maybe over lifetimes? How was it for you?
So like I feel like mine's a like a weird thing, but I'll give you the short and sweet as much as I can of it, where essentially kind of how the V came into my name was I was born with my umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. So I wasn't breathing when my mom had the emergency C-section. I came out like a little Smurf baby. I was like blue. So for 7 minutes I wasn't breathing, and they had to resuscitate me at birth to bring me back to life. So literally, like I came in very intertwined with the spiritual realm and death, and I fully remember that process of being like, I make a joke of it now, but I did like I remember seeing some additives on my soul contract that like was not there prior to me like leaving for this mission, leaving for this incarnation. And I was like, this is looking a little lengthy. Like there's some things here that was not there, and I tried to literally like abort mission prior to it starting. But yeah, so then after that, at like 4 years old, my parents got divorced, and that trauma, I guess, kind of like also jump started a lot of things. But prior to that, I was able to see my great grandmother that would sit in the little rocking chair in my crib, in my room, in my nursery, and like rock in the rocking chair with me. And I would tell my mom, like, oh, there's this woman. I would describe it to her, and she'd be like, oh, that's your great grandmother. And I was like, well, why doesn't she visit often? She's like, she's dead. Like, she hasn't, she's been gone for some time. So prior to the 4 year old thing of the parents being divorced, that was the kind of thing that I was experiencing. I could see spirits. And but then after my parents got divorced, the whole trauma response thing, I guess, kind of awoke other parts of me that weren't previously there, of like feeling things prior to them happening. I don't know what the actual word is for it. But like feeling the energy of things, kind of like I do with my oracle readings. Like I can feel the energy of things prior to them happening. Um,
Like
but then I
clairsentient, right? Like clairsentient before they,
is
but almost
it's
before sentient.
clairsentience, but it's yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, it's like but like
Of
yes, I'm like I don't know but you understand what I'm saying.
course,
So
yes.
so I had that, but then around 7 years old, I started having the premonitions, like seeing visions of things before they would happen. And so there was the infamous example that I always give is there was a teacher that was dating this abusive guy, and I went into school and told her, "Oh my God, like I just saw this guy that's getting ready to come up, and he's got a weapon, and he's really angry." And so I told her about it, and then I got my like the heaviest book that I had, and I went outside like some sort of little kid warrior, like I'm not gonna let him come in here, And sure enough, the guy came, but the my teacher had told the other teacher that was in the conjoining classroom about it, and the security was already on the way. Anyways, long story short, it ended up being this whole ordeal of like, how did you
Mm,
know? And then
wow.
after that, I kind of suppressed my gifts after that because I kind of like got in trouble over it. Like you can't, my mom, and again, I think it's parents who have gifted children, they react one of two ways of being like really either overly protective, or they're like angry or dismissive about them. So again, you kind of get tossed into the thing of like, oh, you're crazy and here's all these medicines, and that's why you don't talk about the things and you can't share these things. So um a lot of gifts developed over that time up until the age of like 14, and I just didn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so sad in that respect that society doesn't, I mean, we've talked about this. Society doesn't really prepare us for anything. We,
Ever, like ever, anything.
and this is one of those things for parents with gifted children. When we talked about environment and epigenetics and how your environment really shapes you, and you can really
Right.
flourish within an environment that's conducive of you exploring those gifts and using them for the benefit of everyone involved. And of course, that's not what happens in most cases, and that's why we're
Right.
talking. So perhaps we can alter that, right?
Yeah.
That's one of my intentions anyway. Um, but hold that thought for a second. I'm gonna pause the podcast. Give me one sec. And we're back. And we were talking about how society isn't supportive of parents and children that are gifted.
Right.
So tell me more. What happened then?
Yeah, so then essentially I went down this rabbit hole of things where essentially I got put on a lot of SSRIs and benzos and suppressive medication to essentially like, help me so that I wouldn't be like overly sensitive to energies, and I wouldn't be, you know, feeling things or seeing things, or you know what I mean? And so, but again, this was, I was, the times were different. Like you literally just could not talk about any of this stuff without immediately being, you know, labeled as like crazy, or oh, you're broken. We need to fix you. These are, you know, oh, this is a, you have a, this is a disability. This is a disease. This is a sickness. This is a, you know, it was like all these different things, you know, and like treat it like you're like a danger to society, or something of this nature. And not once was I displaying any like aggressive traits. It's not like I was like doing, you know what I mean? I could just see things before they happened, or I could feel
Yeah.
other people. I could feel when somebody was bad, you know, and I
Yeah.
didn't want to, you know, and I, yeah. And so,
I'm just, I can't help but interrupt you because I can feel the anger bubbling. How are you not like so angry about this? I am like angry for you and with you and on behalf of all the people that this has happened to, and it's happening to. You know, when you've got these gifts and you're here to really make a big difference, and society and a bunch of other people are like, no, here's a bunch of drugs. We need to suppress you because you're abnormal. Like that is just. Anyway, it makes me so angry. And my question is, how are you not? How have you dealt
yeah,
with that?
it did. Like, I mean, and it's still like it's annoying. It's so annoying, and it like it pissed me off for a really long amount of time, because I went through a large part of my life thinking that something was wrong with me. You know what I mean? Like feeling like I was broken. You're like, oh, you know, you have this disability, and you're, and it's this, that, and the third, and you know, and at one point, again, I told you, up until the age 29, I'm 32 now. So over the last 2.5 years, up until that point, I was on 25 different medications. And you know, I'm just now learning myself. Like, I'm just now learning my mind. I'm just now learning my body. And I'm like, oh, whoa, like these are things that this body does, and all the things. Because again, it's like I was like frozen in time from four to now, you know. And but from the zoomed out perspective of it, I get it, and in some sense of why a lot of us had to be suppressed, because everything is on a very divinely timed orchestration here. And if all of us had our gifts open, activated, and in use as it is, we create a ripple effect with our energy. So our awakened and heightened gifts would have activated others as a result, and would have like prematurely started this ascension and awakening process before Earth's progress was ready, you know. And like, while it sucks and did suck for me and for others that were involved in it, like I get it at the grand zoomed out scale. And when God Source Universe like explained it to me, when I mean explain, like showed it to me, I was still pissed off, but like I understood it. You know what I mean? Because it sucks trying to come off of SSRIs, benzos, and all these kinds of medications after you've been on them for from 4 to 29 is like, all the doctors were like, that's a once you go through those doors, you don't come off it. Like that's it, because it was rough. I mean, the amount of psychosis and paranoia that I went through, the like I couldn't look in the mirror because I thought I didn't know what I looked like, you know, like it was rough. And all while on the outside, I portrayed like I was fine. Nobody knew. Literally, no one knew.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, wow. To be able to mask that, I don't even, yeah, I can't even, I don't know how you did it.
Rough, you know, but like I did it so that I could show other people that it can be done. Like it can be done, but like you gotta want it. You know, like you gotta want it. I wanted my freedom so bad. Like
Hmm.
so bad. And that I didn't care what I had to go through, or what mental beasts I had to defeat to get through it. I just did it because I wanted to be free. And that's the ultimate thing. So like, but when I tell you guys that like I was at the rock bottom, like the Challenger Deep of the Mariana Trench of things. Like I went as low as it could possibly go so that I could ascend and show that it can be done. But like again, like I said, it's work, and you have to be willing to put in that work for yourself. Like it can't be something external that you're chasing it for. Like it has to be literally for you and your soul's growth, and like you gotta want it. Like I just as I
Mm.
did, I wanted that.
It's so inspiring, the possibility of that. So if you're listening and you're like, I want it, well, here's your
Here's the
here's your cue.
yeah.
Yeah, here's you. It's really incredible that living, it's just, it's almost like you don't even have to do anything. You can just live your life and share about it. And people all their life as a result of you and your experience, just seeing the possible, like what's possible or defying the limits of what we think is possible. It's
Right.
pretty, I'm just inspired and in awe, like, wow. Yeah. Hmm.
Thanks, Val.
Hmm.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Tell
thank
me
you.
what's going on. I could hear it. I could hear some mental chatter and I'm like, what is it? Tell me the things. Tell me.
No, thank you. Thank you. I want to hear more about, okay, well, so it was like a gradual, but also a very intense awakening process by the sounds of it. It wasn't like a one hit wonder, like a light switch went off, but it felt like many light switched in a row went
Frequently.
off, like frequently at all times. And
Yeah.
how did you, what happened after? I'm just really curious, how did you come out of all that and so empowered and now really like making the difference that you're
Making
making?
moves.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so quick, like so quick. What I mean, what is time? But
What
but
is
so
time?
quick. Yeah.
Yeah, it well it's interesting. So like I always say there's like the evolve or repeat thing. Like that's my little slogan, evolve or repeat. And every day I felt the call like within me to be like there's more you need to be doing. There's something more that your soul is meant to be doing. And so like every year cyclically things would happen. Do you know when your Saturn return is?
Yeah, the 28 around that time.
Yeah. So like so again, mine was at 29 when I got off of the
Around
medications.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so then again like when I turned 30, I started it's like another light switch switched on, right? Another thing activated within me and I can't explain it really, but it's like all my gifts and abilities got heightened even more so. And then I was like confused. I was like, is this part of the is this psychosis that I'm experiencing from the, getting off of the medication or like what's happening? And so there was like a for like a year and a half after that, it was just essentially I didn't talk to anybody. When I say I didn't leave my house, like I didn't leave my house. I went to physical therapy and then I came back and that was it. But I studied, I went into like meditation all the time. I was in my room and I was trying to understand my gifts and abilities and my energy. Energetic input and output was the thing that I studied the most because I'm good with energy. And so I studied the chakra systems and then I went to work on healing my chakra systems because I knew I was broken. Like in a lot of places, like I knew I was like I was I was effed in a lot of my chakras. And so I spent a lot of time trying to understand and master that and like I did the whole both being teacher and student thing. So whenever I learned something, I would then go and try to tell other people what it was that I was learning, and then if I figured something out within myself that like didn't work, I'd be like, don't do this because that's not the way. But the process of me learning and trying to heal my chakras was, I think, what in intensified my gifts and abilities even more so to be able to get to this point to where I'm at now and be like, okay, so this is how I'm going to channel them to be able to help other people. And
Mhm.
but it was really hard. It was really difficult to separate it. It was difficult for me to trust myself and my mind. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck hundred. Like after that, it took it was a long year and a half process of me trying to regain trust in myself and regain trust in my abilities, because this is like your field here, where like it was me trying to rewire my brain in the way that society had made me think. No, 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 you can't tell anybody about these gifts and abilities because they're gonna lock you up. They're gonna do you You're just now getting off medication. Do you want to get put on more medication? Do you want people to think you're crazy? So it's like
Yeah.
I was pushing up against the resistance of like all the my entire life's years of hearing the repeat on loop. Don't talk about this, don't share this, don't say that. You can't trust, you can't trust yourself, you can't trust your intuition. So like gaslighting was the biggest thing. Whenever I would tell somebody, oh, this doesn't feel right because X, Y, and Z, people would be like, that's that, you can't trust that, yeah, that doesn't make any sense, that doesn't make logical sense. And so I had to
Yeah.
like rebuild my trust and know, like, no, this is divine guidance, like I'm getting this straight from God's source universe. But also I was putting out my oracle reading things, and I had to like gain the confidence in myself to do that as well. So like while it's for you guys, it was also for me because it helped me with my confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it must be also part of the chart, what's it called? The chart, right?
The chakra.
The gosh. No, not the chakras. The thing that we were talking about, the generating manifestor
Oh
projector.
no,
I forgot the
yeah,
word.
yeah, yeah. The human design. The human
Ah, like
design.
yeah, you learn by
Trial and error.
teaching and at the same time. It's amazing. I'm like that too, and I find it very valuable because then it makes it that much more real. You're not talking about it from a theory or something that happened a long time ago. It's like, no, this shit's happening now.
Now,
So let me
like
tell
this
you
is
about it.
yes, yes, in real time this is happening. And
Yeah.
I think that's also like an embarrassing, like it's not like embarrassing like I can't believe I did that, but it's like embarrassing from the fact of while other people go through their stuff like kind of behind closed doors, I have always documented my process. So like way before TikTok became a TikTok, it was like Musically. So I was on Musically and I would document everything that was happening with me, and even on YouTube, the stuff that was going on with my health. Like people have publicly watched me in the worst parts of my life, but it's a huge testament to like what the spiritual awakening and ascension process is like done the right way. Literally, like
Yeah.
you start from like your less like your lesser version, and that's in the Mariana Trench, and you can go back and see me like I was I was raggedy, and then like
I don't even want to see this because from the scientific perspective, this is just mind blowing. This is like a huge experiment. I know it's not an experiment. No, this
but
sounds
it
very
is,
redu- I'm being very reductionistic. Like I'm being Dr. Val, the neuroscientist, because now I'm like, oh my God,
you're
this
like,
is such good, juicy research. Like,
yes,
really, like to examine that, but also within the field that I'm taking neuroscience into, which is the neurospiritual awakening. So I'm going to go and rewatch all those videos
yeah.
and we'll come back to this. But wow, this is like really, this is good. This is really good. This
You're
makes
like,
me really
this
happy,
is
however sick I sound. Yeah. Yeah.
it's the level of like the jump and how your energy went though. Like that's what's really sending me is the level of interest peak that has hit literally like this was your energy for most of it, and then as soon as that happened it was like
Yeah. I'm into it. Yeah, I'm gonna go and research that and see.
you're like, yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah,
I mean, I could have anyway, yes, this is great. This is so good.
yeah,
Um, what else? We're gonna wrap it up short because I like to keep these short. It's all that five energy, which of course your life path five. So,
yeah.
you like
Like,
to quick.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you want to wrap this up? What do you want to, I mean, there's no, nice bow to it, but like, how do you want to, what do you want to say before I let you go and just gosh, I'll have you on like tomorrow, but back on,
Yes.
ASAP. But
Yeah.
what you want to say, like how for you, for the people, for me, what is there to say now?
Yeah, I mean, it's just if you feel like, again, if you feel like at any point in time your soul is calling you to make a change or take an exit that you're not used to, you know, the thing that scares you the most is probably what you're supposed to be doing. And the road that's less traveled is probably the path that you're meant to be taking. And everyone thinks that if you push up against you reach a level of resistance that, oh no, like we can't, that's not it, we can't go this way, and that's not it, and that's you got to do the things that are difficult, if you really want the long-term route, because this world is just like based on instant gratification of everything, and like God's source universe doesn't operate that way. Like it's very much a delayed gratification based system. And
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
discovering that. Don't you worry, I'm discovering that.
Yeah, so like, the watch pot never boils, and so you just have to have faith in the process even when you don't see the progress. And you are the most important project that you will ever work on, and you're worth it. Whatever it requires, you're worth it. And you just have to know that. And that's what I got. And
Mm.
if you want to work with me, you can hit me up on my website, Ascension Oracle V, or reach out to me on my Instagram, Ascension Oracle V LLC on Instagram, and then apply to work one on one with me, and we'll get it going.
Yeah. Oh, so glad you said it. You literally, this is good because you have a podcast, so you know what to say. I was like so still mesmerized by the thing that we were talking about. I forgot all about like how can we find you? How can we connect with you? So thank you for intuitively saying that because obviously people want to find you.
It's
You're
okay.
incredible.
It's okay.
People, yeah, yeah, people want to find you. So this is how, and I'll put it all in the show notes so people can connect with you and really grow
Yeah.
if they want.
If they
If they
want,
want.
yeah, yeah, no, we only take willing participants over here. Literally, like it's I run a tight ship. It's not for everybody, and that's just the thing. Hey, you have to be willing to do the work. I'm very high accountability because it's high transformation and
Mm.
it's intense. So that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that. I love that. Well, look, thank you so much for being the star of this show today. It's been really, really, really mind-blowing for me, and I'm all energized now. I'm gonna go about my day.
And you're like, and so yes,
Yeah. And yeah, I can't wait to put this out and have you back on the show. Thank you so much.
of course. Thanks for having me.
All right.